for King.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Education. Can the Minister update the House on how the government investments in school capital projects is supporting the South Australian economic recovery?
Thank you, and I'm very pleased
Minister.
to have this question from the member for King, who, as I've said on occasion previously, is passionate about education. She has a particular passion and focus for the Keeping Safe Child Protection curriculum, and I've been glad to have some discussions with her about how we can better support that in our schools in recent days across all of South Australia, but she's also a fierce advocate for her local schools in the King electorate. And there's good news for those schools. There's good news for schools across South Australia. Indeed, particularly at a time where the coronavirus has wreaked such havoc through the South Australian economy. It's also worth noting the important impact that those school building programs and indeed school maintenance programs are having in supporting jobs at a time when our unemployment challenge is so severe. So I reported to the House previously that $7.6 million has been invested this year in a new program for primary schools, preschools, where every government preschool in South Australia has received now a $20,000 grant where they are working towards local school, maintenance projects. So at Greenwith, Madison Park, Kindy, One Tree Hill Preschool, Salisbury Heights Preschool and Salisbury Park Kindergarten, the member for King's electorate, all of those preschools and kindergartens are now working through what with the extra support they'll be able to do in their local areas. The South Australian Liberal government also announced $25 million in addition to the usual spend on school maintenance projects this year. And that has enabled about 100 projects that were on the central register as needing work to be done as soon as possible to be brought forward and done this year. So in the member for King's electorate, 3 projects at the Salisbury East High School totalling $355,000 are able to be progressed as soon as possible, including roof replacements and structural repairs, retaining wall stabilisations. Tremendously important work at the Salisbury East High School. The member for King's electorate also includes several schools that are receiving school infrastructure projects, some of which have been on the books since 2017 and some of which have been enhanced since then with further spend. So, ready for the 2022 school year, with Year 7s coming into high school and acknowledging the growing population needs demanding education in the school, the Golden Grove High School will benefit from a $15.5 million infrastructure project which should be ready for the 2022 school year, more than a 50% increase on that which it was expecting previously. Also benefiting in the member for King's electorate will be the Greenwith Primary School, which will be completed during 2021, that $5 million project, and the Golden Grove Primary School, where scoping works and planning works are due to commence shortly. And they form part of a $1.3 billion capital works program within the education budget. This is a record budget that this state has ever been spending on schools, as our recurrent spending on school regularly is also at record levels.
Member for Mawson is called to order.
Hundreds of millions of dollars extra in capital over that which was in the budget left by our predecessors, hundreds of millions of dollars extra in regular spending over that in which was the budget left by our predecessors. And the even better news right now is that shovels are in the ground at a range of schools. We have in Whyalla, in Angle Vale, in Aldinga, new schools being built, each of which will contribute more than $100 million into the economy, thousands of building jobs and construction jobs, and great new schools to meet the needs of those local areas. And those other infrastructure projects, already work underway at Parafield Gardens, Ceduna, Gorlin Districts, Lefevre High, Murray Bridge High School, Mount Barker High School, Nuruyut Primary School, Paralowie School and Salisbury High School. This is important work for the future of our education system, and it comes at a time where these building jobs will be so valuable for our economy, so valuable for the people who are doing the work on these projects to have a paycheck at the end of each week.